Hello everyone, my name is Brent.
And my name is Brian, B-R-I-A-N.
And we are your favorite identical twins from the beautiful state of Maine.
If you haven't noticed, right behind me, we are somewhere different today. There is an amazing Twitter follower that suggested to Brett and I that we go kind of back in time and we describe and explain to all of you amazing followers of ours where we went to school and where some of our favorite hangouts are.
That's definitely right, Brian. And Brian and I had attended Old Town High School here in lovely Old Town, Maine from 2002 until 2006. We just kind of want to take you up here just so that we can show you all amazing people, kind of the features of this incredible walkway here.
You know what though, Brent? I remember sitting out here just about every day after school wondering when I would be graduating from high school, and about 10 and a half years later, I can honestly say that for the most part, you and I had a very good high school career.
Yes, we definitely have, Brian. And if you go to the right over here, besides the trash can, there's a sign over here that was not here when Brian and I were in school, and it says, "One text or call could wreck it all." And we definitely should not be letting people know that texting and driving is okay, because it definitely is not okay. So the texting can definitely wait, and the calling can wait as well. So we definitely want to let you know that Brian and I do not think texting and driving is okay. Isn't that right, Brian?
That is right, Brent. And that text or even call can wait. I mean, Brent and I, when we are driving, we do not go on our cell phone to even take calls, let alone text messages. And we won't go on and on about this subject, but Brett and I are in 100% full agreement with the fact that one text or call could wreck it all.
And all of your lives are definitely very much worth it. So again, please do not text and drive, because one text or call could wreck it all. On a much lighter note, I'm going to hand the phone over to Brian now so that he can film what we are going to shoot next.
Well, thank you, Brent. I appreciate you handing over the photography reins to me. Can't you tell how excited Brent is to show you the rest of our amazing Old Town High School? If you look to the left over here, this is the amazing Old Town Pool. Brent and I would come here sometimes in high school. This would be another one of our hangout spots. Try and see if I can get a little closer here. And they never had the parking here either. This must have been installed a couple years ago. And this is where Brett and I right here would lay out our towels and lay out in the sun. It's kind of hard to envision now because it's early November and the temperatures are way lower, but Brett and I would come here and enjoy the pool and enjoy being outside and all of that amazing fun stuff.
Most definitely. And if you notice over here to the left, it says home of the Coyotes. In the, I believe it was the beginning part of the school year in 2005, the mascot was named to the Coyotes, and it was formerly called the Indians. And unfortunately the name had changed because there were a lot of people that found the name to be derogatory and disrespectful. But overall, I definitely still consider myself to be an Indian to this very day.
That is very right, Brent. And even though the last half a year of high school we were considered the Coyotes, I still very much so consider ourselves to be Old Town Indians.
Very much so. And we are currently going down the amazing hill down here, and I'm looking back because I don't want to fall on my face.
And as you can see over here to the left, you are starting to see the amazing baseball field over here. Brent and I never played baseball in high school, but we would watch some of the games from just behind the dugout here, and if you can see to the right are the bleachers.
To the right over here are the awesome basketball courts, and over here, as you can see, the ground is like a Fenway Park green. And as you know, Brian and I are huge Boston Red Sox fans, so this is definitely a very amazing color for the hardwood over here. And when Brian and I were in high school, as we come over to the left over here, the rims were bent and there were no nets on the basketball hoops. And now, as you can see, there are nets, which I kind of got tangled up there. And the glass up here is Gorilla, which is really good glass, especially if, you know, you want to dunk it a few times if you're tall enough. Unfortunately, Brian and I are not really tall enough to dunk it, but you know, we definitely try our best with that. Isn't that right, Brian?
That is right. And another fun fact for all of our amazing followers, one of the things that Brent and I used to do, basketball related, is we used to enter the free throw competition every year. And yours truly, Mr. Brian, would beat Brent every year.
Well, that's right, Brian, but I'm going to be the man in this and admit that Mr. Brian, that's holding my camera now, was the better free throw shooter, so I'm definitely man enough to admit that.
Well, that is good, Brent, that you say that, because I am handing the reins over to you now, Mr. Cameraman, and maybe you can explain to them what the OT stands for on that building over there.
Oh, thank you, Brian, and we are heading over to the softball field now at Old Town High School in Old Town, Maine, and during gym class, Brian and I would... Hi, Brian.
Hi.
Anyway, Brian and I would smash some amazing home runs over the fence over here. Isn't that right, Brian?
Yes, and I believe that the center field is only about 200 to 210 feet, so if you are a softball enthusiast, I definitely would recommend playing on this field.
That's definitely right, Brian. And as we walk over here, we are going to exit the softball field, and we are going to head on over toward the football field and the track. And as Brian gets ahead of me here, I'm going to film him as we walk over to the amazing track, and we will give you a little bit of history about that. And while we're doing that, Brian and I in high school from 2002 until 2006, we did many different sports. Isn't that right, Brian?
Yes, we did. We did basketball our freshman year of high school, and then we kind of grew out of it, and then my freshman, junior, and senior year of high school, I ran outdoor track, and then my sophomore through senior year, I ran indoor track.
That's definitely right, Brian. And I played basketball my freshman year of high school, and I did golf for 3 years in high school. That was awesome. And I participated in indoor track for 3 years of my high school career, and an outdoor track, I participated in that for 2 years. So,
well, you can't forget about me, Bren. I mean, you and I both played golf in high school. It has always been a dream of mine to go on the PGA Tour, but I think you and I both know that we're not good enough to be on there.
Yeah, unfortunately we're not. And over here is, again, the Old Town emblem there, along with the awesome Coyote over here to the right. And again, I am going to hand my awesome phone / camera to Brian, and we are going to head on over to the track.
This is definitely going to be our favorite part of the segment, because this track you are about to see was not here when Brent and I were in high school. I believe this was put in either in 2012 or 2013.
One question I have is that why do they always get the good stuff after we leave?
I have no idea, Brent. If I could answer that question for you, then I definitely would.
Over here we are headed toward the football field, which is called Victory Field here at Old Town High School. And this entryway here was not built when we were in high school either. And over here is another example of our amazing mascot, the Coyote over here. And we are now going to make our way over to the track and the football field and tell you a little bit about that. So over here is the amazing track that was not here when Brian and I were in high school.
Oh, before we do that, Brent, I'm going to give you the phone and explain to them this amazing sign over here.
Of course. So over here is the emblem for the Coyote again, and I think Brian would love to discuss with you his disappointment in the sign.
I definitely would, Brent, and I was pointing to the no dog sign a few seconds ago because for me personally, I love dogs, and it's just very disappointing that they can't go on the track, and I love riding my bike, so that's very disappointing as well. And personally, I don't care so much about skateboards because I can appreciate all the amazing skateboarders out there, but I don't do it personally. But the no dogs and the no bike is very, very disappointing.
I would definitely have to agree with you on that, Brian, and we're going to officially be on the track now, which was not here when Brian and I were in high school. And as you might be able to see by Brian's enthusiasm, he is going to run a little bit today. And if you weren't able to notice, there is an OT emblem on Brian's left pant leg. And those are the official pants that Brian and I wore in high school. Isn't that right, Brian?
Yes, that's right, Brent.
Getting a little...
It's nice to be able to get a good workout in today, too.
It definitely is, isn't it, Brian?
Yes, it is.
So, we are showing you a little bit of the track. It is an 8-lane track, which I feel is pretty standard for track and field events. And over here to the left are the bleachers. We did have bleachers when Brian and I were in high school, but they were definitely not this elaborate. They were more spread out.
And just for a bonus fact about me, I am in lane 8, as you can see here, and this is my favorite lane, specifically because 8 is my lucky and favorite number.
And if Brian would be willing to film me over here in lane 7,
which I would be willing to do.
Thank you, Brian. Lane number 7 down here is my favorite number. And I'll be honest and say that I was not in lane 7 a lot, but it is definitely still my favorite and lucky number today. And this track is absolutely amazing. It cost a lot of money to build, but overall I definitely would not have traded the athletic experiences for anything during my career here at Old Town High School for the amazing 4 years that Brian and I were able to spend here together.
That is right, Brent, and we just wanted to give all of you amazing viewers a glimpse of more into our personal lives, and Brent's excited about that. This isn't a workout video, Brent.
Well, you ran earlier. So that's where we're gonna end the video today. And I'm going to finish my workout here of these amazing jumping jacks. But as always, we definitely hope that you have a great weekend.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.